So we are in day whatever of quarantine. I have no idea.
Wait. We didn't have an intro.
This was the intro.
Oh, okay.
Dude, you watch Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
I really want that to be the intro. Do you ever watch Joe Rogan? Whatever the intro actually is. So we are in this thing now, and a couple things are happening where I want to talk today. I've got some questions for you when it comes to Google My Business.
Okay.
I want to ask some generic questions and then a very, very specific one because we actually had something happen today that we had to take care of as a company for a client. So generic stuff, Google My Business. Just give me a minute overview of what that is and why that matters.
So, yes, great question. If you don't have a Google My Business listing, you should 100% go and do it right now. You should put stop on this podcast. Go to Google/My Business, and it will pull you up to a page where you can create that. It is completely free.
Okay.
Anybody that has a company can go and put that up.
Okay.
It is run by several determining factors. One, the biggest one is geographical location.
Okay.
So some people get confused because when they're looking up the ranking for that, because they're in their business and they Google their service and they come up first. They're like, yes, I'm first. But it's only because they're in their physical address.
Gotcha.
So of course they're going to be first because they're the closest to the business. So it basically, the first factor on ranking for that is the address.
So if somebody location, if I'm a mile away,
is looking for a McKinney plumber, and you have an address that's within 5 miles from me, you're probably going to show up closer
before somebody that's in Plano.
Correct.
Got it.
What's interesting is
for anybody listening who has no idea where McKinney and Plano is, it's North Dallas, and Plano is a neighboring town that is a good bit larger than McKinney, so you would think that they might do a little bit better just based off of size, and it doesn't necessarily work that way.
So another thing that's interesting with that is say you were looking up a plumber for your mom, and you put in plumbers in Plano.
Okay.
The people that are going to be in the heart of Plano are probably going to show up first.
Okay.
Because they're the most central locations to the address you put in or the city you put in.
Okay.
So that's the first thing. The second thing is reviews. So if you have 3 reviews and I have 5 reviews, I'm going to show up better and higher than you do.
Okay.
The third ranking factor is your SEO placement. So if I have better SEO, like
so
if I have
how
better
Google
organic rankings than you do, I'm going to have a bigger bigger pull than you might.
So quality of the website, because that's kind of covers all of SEO plus
Correct.
a few other things. So quality of the website, location of the business,
and reviews.
Yep. And those 3 things combined tell the Google algorithm how to rank businesses.
And another thing that helps with your ranking is they want to promote companies that are doing more on their Google My Business listing than people that aren't. So if you are actively responding to reviews, positive or negative, you're responding. 2, if you're putting out good content. So if you are creating blog posts, articles, whatever, there's a section on Google My Business where you can create a post. I believe it's like 500 characters, so it's not super long.
Okay.
But if there's relevant information that's going on that is noteworthy to put out there, you can create a post about that. You can upload a picture. You can upload pictures of your team. You can upload a video. So it's a kind of a quick snapshot without going to a website of your company.
So keeping those active is important. Keeping your Google My Business listing active is important. Building that into your strategy. It doesn't have to be, Google's not looking for you to make 3 posts a day on that, but doing something maybe on a monthly schedule, something like that, where you're posting semi often is going to help. So those 4 factors are going to make a big difference in how you rank in Google My Business. Now, my next question is, talk to me a little bit about what happened today. So we're in a brave new world of coronavirus, and Google is trying to be proactive in this and assuming that a lot of businesses right now, a lot of retail business, a lot of places that you can physically walk into are closed. And so Google, trying to be proactive in that, did what? Tell us a little bit about
so they actually went on to the Google My Business listing and said that it was shut down temporarily.
Gotcha.
And so what they were doing about a week ago was basically just putting a header across the top. So you would search for that company, and then at the top there was a banner that was basically a disclaimer saying that the hours of operation may have changed due to COVID-19. Well, now they're actually, I think it's AI is going through. They've created an algorithm that looks at different industry specifics in the categories, and based off of the guidelines that, the US has put out, and they're basically saying anything that falls into this category, we're going to say is closed.
And keep in mind, I mean, for regardless of what you think about shutting down and that kind of thing, Google is based in the heart of California, and California is on big time lockdown right now. And so a lot of these employees who are making these, and directors and stuff at Google who are making these decisions, are doing so based off of their real world experience, and their real world has changed more drastically than maybe yours has. And if you live in North Texas, for instance, it's, we're pretty shut down right now, but there's a lot of people who are still kind of business as usual to a degree, whereas California, that's just not the case. And so these are, I mean, obviously an algorithm is making some decisions here, but people determine what decisions the algorithm makes. Well, they put in there the qualifications for this kind of stuff. And so as a result, we had one of our clients who Google just said temporarily closed, and they're not temporarily closed. They're actually serving, right now, they're serving people who are working in essential businesses. We need them to stay open so that people who are working in essential business can continue to do what they're doing. And so those are just things to keep in mind through this. As we're entering this brave new world, we got to keep in mind that we are, however your business is operating right now, make sure that you're checking in on those things. You're checking in. Facebook can also make those determining factors. We haven't heard that happening yet, but we want to make sure that we're following that, because absolutely Facebook, Instagram, wherever you are, wherever your online presence is, that you don't have complete control over it, like you have complete control over a website, that's really worthy of looking at. And it's another reason why websites are as important as they are. We depend on and Google matters and Facebook matters, and that's the social side of stuff, that's my department. I care a lot about that. But you're never going to have complete control over those platforms, because you do not own those platforms.
Yep, correct.
You do own your website. That's yours to do with what you will. And so it's another reminder that in this day of multiple platforms, and as important as those are to be on, you having control of your website and keeping that updated and keeping the SEO on that up and valid, those things matter big time, because you will never lose control over that. That is yours. And that there's no, Facebook's never going to shut that down. Google's never going to shut that down. Your website is yours to maintain. And we got to, in times like this, that matters a lot. Because anybody who clicked through to that Google My Business to check the website saw, the website doesn't say that. And so while, the Google My Business listing has been corrected at this point, some people would have searched and gotten the wrong information. But if they were to click through to the website, they would have received the right information. And that matters a lot. We got it. Those are things that yes, in a day where other platforms matter, your website still matters, and it matters big time. Even if you don't sell anything off of your website, if your website is solely for the purpose of people getting on there and gaining information, your website matters.
And this has nothing to do with Google My Business at the moment, but it would be a really good idea for anybody, whether you are temporarily closed or still serving customers, to have a banner at the top of your website specifically talking about what your rules, regulations, and policies are during this time right now, and talking about what your hours are. Very easy to get to, right at the top of the website, so that anybody that's coming to figure out, are you still serving or are you temporarily closed, what you're doing about it and how you're still serving the community, that should be at the top of the website. where it's really easy to access.
Yeah, really good, because you just want, I mean, that's going to be a huge question on everybody's mind. It's one of the reasons why they're probably visiting your website, and so some level of communication there is going to be a really, really big deal. Thank you so much for joining us for the podcast today. We will see you guys next Thursday.